Okay, let's start again. Hi everybody, my name is Ray. I'm from Singapore and I'm happy to share with you my experience with scuba diving and meditation. I think it will help a lot of us, especially those in Mensa, because our mind is always going very fast, right? Before I go further, you cannot see very well, but this photo was taken about a few days ago in the Izu Atami area. I was diving with my friends. It was 20-degree water, 15-degree wind, and it was so cold. And I actually used the technique that I learned over the last 1 year or so to help me get through it. So now let me share with you how we can use this, my experience, to help everybody achieve better performance. Okay, so please try to scan this QR code. It's actually very, very interesting because with all this talk about AI, this is something I use to formulate this Q&A chatbot that can answer you any questions that you have. Now, the default language is Japanese, but once you tell the AI to talk to you back in English, they will do so, all right? Just going to leave it up a little bit longer. You can ask any question about it. If there is an answer, the AI will reply you, okay? By the way, this is me in the island. You're going to see that porcupine fish a lot. It's my friend, Steve. I'll show you some video of Steve later on. They are very, very smart creatures. And honestly, I can spend like 90 minutes on underwater just looking at how the fish dance around me, okay? Now, so I'm going to share with you a real experience that I had in May this year. I was doing my Divemaster course in Koh and you cannot see very well, but there's another diver over there, you know, at the bottom. I'm the simulator guy on top. In diving, you always dive with a buddy. Okay, you don't dive yourself. So you and your buddy, you will look out for each other. And imagine 30 meters down at below the surface, my buddy lost an equipment, all right? And she was so obsessed with finding it. She was panicky. Oh, that thing cost 200 euros, you know? And she was just going deeper and deeper and deeper. And underwater, we cannot shout, right? So I had to follow her because I cannot leave her by herself. And that would mean, things will get very, very wrong. So I follow her, trying to keep my bearings on where the boat is. But honestly, underwater, if you do not have a very solid reference point, you will get lost. All right. And that's what happened. Right. I couldn't find the boat anymore. Under 30 meters, you can't really see the top very well, especially those that scuba dive, you should know. So I have to grab her, and it's not like you can grab a person on the land and pull her up. No, you can't. I have to calm her down. All right. So 30 minutes, she's swimming out of that. I'm also out of my training limits, and I can feel that she's panicking, and I'm going to panic also, right? But what happened is, sorry. So what happened is, I hold on to her, and I ask her to look at me and slow down. Okay, this is a sign for slowing down underwater, and slowly breathe in and slowly breathe out. And good for 1 minute, we're just doing that. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And she finds some calm in her, finally, and myself too. And I finally tell her that, hey, let's head to the surface. It's only 200 euros. So, I mean, this is after the talk on the boat, right? And luckily, we managed to get back safe because the boat is like 150 meters away, and we were just like on a 50-minute on the surface, trying to get back to the water. Now, why am I sharing this? Because I feel that um, a lot of us are professional in work. We are entrepreneurs. We are executive in our roles, or even if you're, let's say, taking care of a family, your kids are running around, screaming around. There's always a point whereby you feel like the world is collapsing around you. You are having that pressure on you. There's no space to run, you always have that feeling. So how are we going to manage that feeling? All right. And in a way, I'm very lucky to go through this experience because I need a clicker. So give me a minute to talk about it. So I'm fortunate and unfortunate enough. Last year, I met a life-changing accident. I was knocked off my motorbike by a taxi. All right, and I cannot remember at all what happened. And honestly, that is a very scary thing because, especially for us, I think we tend to overanalyze a lot of times. We overthink, and when things are not clear to us, what we do, we go and investigate. And sadly, for my case, yes, I have the ability to investigate. You know, if I didn't have the ability, maybe I would just let it go, let it be, right? But I do. So I studied the law. I go to the condo management and tell them, hey, give me the video. If not, I did it all by myself. Of course, with the help of AI and things like that. And I managed to piece together everything together. But why I'm talking about this because it was actually a very painful half a year for me because every time I was reminded by the accident, I will panic. And my is I have a watch here. You can feel that my heartbeat is like 120, 110, and I was just sitting down there, right? It's not that I was going for a run, no. So it gave me a lot of insomnia. I cannot sleep, and one thing led to another, and I will start to drink a lot more than I used to, unhealthily. So that was a very bad half a year of spiral, and your friends will always tell you, "Hey, man up, right? Hey, pick yourself up. It's so easy. You've done it before. Why are you doing this?" I mean, instead of finding comfort, sometimes you have external pressure coming to you, telling you to do things um, the way they want you to do, right? And it's not easy because I also say the same thing to myself. Hey, I used to be this, I used to be that. So quickly jump to the end point, right? So through this process, I learned that strength is not just about appearance, not looking strong, but you are happy to face the reality, all right? Okay, hey, yes, I need time to rest. Hey, yes, I need time to recover. Face it, accept it, and move on. So I will share more about the technique later. And back to the main theme of the point, right? I mean, it's just like underwater. Instead of rushing around, moving around very fast, trying to recover, slow down, take a step back, look before you decide. Okay, so the accident caused me to go through this process and help me learn this principle that I'm going to apply for the rest of my life. Okay, so so this slide is about what, if you are not if you do not know enough, right? I've been talking about scuba diving, slowing down, control breathing, mindfulness, and meditation. Okay, so this slide is talking about what happened after all this activity. Okay, I will go into the practice later. We'll do a 5-minute practice later, but I just want to show you that meditation and scuba diving, they are similar and they are scientifically proven to change your brain. Okay, so I'm not sure how do y'all think the brain function, but basically there are some studies that say mental health is a bit like a physical illness actually. All right, there are glitches in the brain. You don't sleep well, your synapses don't work so well, imbalance, um, and a lot of times I believe and it's proven that people when they get very impatient, their brain actually shrink in size. I don't know if you, because I have experience, someone else had an experience with that. The brain shrink and they become impatient. They become easy to react. So when you do meditation practices, it's like going to gym for your brain, right? You do all the weights, so if you go do bodybuilding and all that, gym, you see a lot of people carrying weights. Their body becomes stronger, right? Bigger in size, you can see the muscles. Same for the brain. If you exercise your brain in terms of meditation practice, you actually improve all of this, all right? You have stronger memory, better empathy, and uh, amygdala is actually what control your reaction, right? It actually shrink in size and become less reactive. So these are all proven. With the chatbot, I think you can go and ask them the science about it. I don't want to bore everyone with the real science, but just go and ask what happened in the chatbot. They can tell you everything about this. So another thing I want to talk about is sometimes you can say that this is about personality. Okay, I think we are in Japan. We see a lot of Japanese friends, especially when you do something brought their way. They okay, thank you, thank you. We also can be doing that. We don't react, but I think a lot of you don't go and punch the guy or kick the person off the your path, right? But when someone block your way, you like there's a tightening of your chest. Although you may not scold the person, you will not, hey, get out of my way. No, but you will feel angry a little bit for that split second. I think most of you can understand what I am saying. And maybe even talking in front of a crowd, you get nervous. You get nervous. You try not to, but you get nervous. Your pulse become faster. Things like that. These are sensations that we observe before an emotion, right? And how can we break this reaction through meditation is by later I will share the video we will practice. But basically, when you feel something, before you react, observe what is happening. You are angry with this person. You are irritated at this person. Your boss, you just hate, don't like him. You feel a rising sensation in your heartbeat. Observe it. You feel you getting more hot, heated. Observe it. You are sweating. Observe that you are sweating. By observing that sensation, you actually calms your body down. I think we are older now, we manage our anger better. But if you remember when you are younger, sometimes you may have experienced jumping into a rage suddenly. Like, hey, that person steal my purse. That person took my rubber paper, etc. And then you start to scream and things like that. So this is about learning the experience to regulate your own emotion by observing every sensation and acknowledge that, hey, I'm really upset about this. And it will just, and don't be upset about you being upset about this person. Just acknowledge, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be so petty. No, don't need to think about, don't need to say that. Say, yeah, I'm petty. But I observe that I'm not very, very kind to this person. It's okay. And acknowledge it and let it pass. So this is how we break the reactivity. And for me, when I was thinking about my accident, it's like, hey, I need to find evidence. Why I need to fight back. And the issue is, after all the law reading, I actually don't get the video because they actually deleted the video. It's very, very unethical. And for that one period, I was thinking about it all the time. But I acknowledge that, yes, I was spending too much time on this issue. I wasted half a year of my life. Acknowledge it. Don't go back and think about it and let it go. So this is how we break the reactivity. And I think what is very important about this meditation practice is about more than just the brain function, more than just the size of our brain that change. There is actually studies that say things about the gamma wave. When you are in the zone, when you are in the zone, I'm not sure whether you have been there before, but you feel like, hey, everything, I have mental clarity. I know what I'm doing. I'm very in the peak of my performance. That is actually the zone, and you can measure the brain wave using some sensors. It's called the gamma wave. And in 2004, they actually did study on some Tibetan monks. You can ask the chat AI later. They actually discovered that the monks have a high sustained state of gamma wave on their brain. We mean that they remain in the zone. Unlike other people, maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes, they actually sustain this gamma wave for much longer. Okay, so these are When you do meditation, you get very in scuba diving, you get very pretty proven, and I wouldn't say I'm there yet, but we are practicing, and we want to stay in our peak performance in our job and career and things like that. So these are the real benefit. So what are the takeaway that I'm trying to say about here? Going slow is actually pretty fast. You don't want to react to things. You don't want to jump around. You want to sit down and plan your road ahead. So being slow is actually a very fast way to in the productivity. And underwater composure is contagious. You don't want to be panicky, and if you are the most composed person, everyone will follow your lead. Now, just like just like running, training for a run, and if you can run 10 kilometers in the past and you stop doing it for 1 month or two, right? Doesn't mean you can go back to there. So you have to keep practicing. In meditation, you have to keep practicing and practice how you meditate, and that is where you build the mastery of your emotion and mental clarity. And the last part is active realism. What does it mean? It's like things have happened to us in the past. Things have happened to us now. But after it happened, you cannot change the fact that it happened. You don't keep on thinking about 10 years ago what happened to me, 20 years ago what happened to me. You don't really go and keep thinking about what had happened. You have to understand where you are and move on from there. It's easier said than done. That's why you have to keep doing this meditation practice to help yourself get through the process. For me, that one year ago the accident happened, and for half a year I was thinking, why am I being hit? Why am I being hit? It really took me a long time, a lot of effort to get out of that repeated thoughts. It will help us a lot in our life because I think all of us went through a lot of heartbreaks, good things and bad things in our life. So we need to be able to manage all this. All right. So before I go into the FAQ, actually, I will want everyone to practice this 5-minute meditation. If you have never tried before, it's okay. You just have to just sit down and listen to the instructions. And for our Japanese audience, I'm sorry this is in English, but it's okay. What you have to do is just close your eyes and observe your breath. So don't need to think about anything else, just observe your breath. Your breath is coming in and coming out. That's all you need to do. For the rest of the audience, just follow the YouTube video and just do this practice. All right? So I'm going to play the video. And we have our discussion later because once you go through the practice, you probably understand what I'm trying to say more. Oh, shit. It's a bit.
On the edge of a chair, or perhaps on your bed.
Can you play that?
Try to sit as straight as you can.
Can we play the audio on the
without
speaker?
putting too much effort into it. Just keep your spine in a natural and upright position. Gently close your eyes and become aware of the sensation of sitting.
Give me a minute. If it's possible, we just
Or on your legs, wherever it feels most comfortable.
it's okay. I think it's quiet enough. It's quiet enough for you to hear the audio, actually. If you cannot hear, it's okay. Basically, what you're going to do is we're going to do a breathing exercise. You're basically going to observe your breath. You are feeling the air going in your nose and going out. What happens if you cannot feel? It's okay. What you have to do is you remember. You remember that you are breathing in. You remember that you're breathing out. You do not have to control your breath. Okay? You do not have to say, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds. No. Just breathe as normal as you are. and be aware that you are breathing. And that is the exercise if you cannot hear the audio. Okay? Can? It's okay. We can just play the video. You just use the audio. It's fine. So let's do it. Let's try to be as silent as we can. Okay, everybody, we are done with the practice. You can slowly open your eyes. Maybe I should have done this earlier, right? So, what he meant by doing less is more, basically, you cut out all your noise and remain very focused on your unconscious, like conscious thoughts. Sometimes we over occupy ourselves with things, phone, Netflix, alcohol, even. And all this actually, we are just following the actions by, we are actually just following things. We are not actually holding our own idea about what to do. All right. So this is not a thought to force you into any practices, but I just want you to be aware of this possibility. And I benefited from this a lot. And why I love scuba diving is obviously because it is very similar to meditation. And the difference is scuba diving is maybe a little bit more fun, all right? You are still practicing mindfulness, you are still feeling all the sensation, you are still very aware of what is happening. You have to be aware because you need to make sure that you don't run out of air. But in meditation, it's a lot more accessible. You can just sit down and practice yourself. And in meditation, you really have to just focus on your breath and your thoughts. Okay? So while you are doing that 5 minutes, I think some of you experience like, hey, you have wandering thoughts and all of that. I think we can talk about that more. Or maybe you're wondering, hey, when will this end? All right. These are things that happen for all meditators. But I think a lot of times, sometimes you may feel what happened 10 years ago come back to your mind. Okay. This will happen. So I'm going to move on to the FAQs. And if you all have any question, please shout out and let me know. And if there's no question, then I show you some quick video of Steve, my friend, under the water. Okay. So is there any questions anyone have about my talk, my presentation? I mean, about scuba diving, about diving, or about anything else? Yeah, go ahead. Please shout out. Yeah.
You said you have to fully submerge, like in scuba diving, or indulge in the meditation. What I found out when doing sports is of any kind, it's the same thing. The most relaxing vacations we take are actually the ones where we do a lot of sports. And you think, how is that? I mean, sports is exhausting, but no, it's the same as you just explained, because you're fully submerged in what you're doing. You don't think of anything else, like be it road biking, skiing, playing golf, whatever you do. You have to fully concentrate of it. You clear your mind, and well, the physical exhaustion just makes it easier, because you're too tired to think of anything that makes you angry, and you don't have energy to be angry. And so that is maybe um, a bonus idea on what you just said, like do any kind of sports. And the meditation is the pocket sports you can do anywhere without any equipment. And yeah.
I don't disagree. Actually, I thanks you for raising this question because I forgot to say something actually. Um, when you do meditation, you are actually, maybe I didn't make it clear about the brain part, but you're actually changing the way your body reacts. That include your central system, like fear, like stress. Instead of feeling the anxiety, why do your body relax? It's also because you are training your body to understand that, hey, this thing will not last, this thing will pass, and you don't have to react strongly to it. So like you say, yes, sports, you are getting better at it, you are training your muscles, you are very focused, you are in the zone, right? Meditation does have that similar function in a slightly different way, but it's training your body nervous system control system. So yeah, I agree with you. And if you do both, it will be better. Yeah. Thank you. Any other question? Yeah. Any curious? Just go ahead, shout. Yeah.
Hi, I'm MK Chin from Singapore. Okay. I actually get to know, like online, there are some using technology. Example, you listen to some music, some audio stuff. That by listening to like, let's say listening half an hour equal to like meditate for about 3 hours. It tend to like lower down your zone. Then your opinion and experience on that.
Honestly, I feel that it depends. Like for me, I practice Vipassana meditation. But actually, I didn't mention about it because I feel that whatever works for you, it works for you. Okay, different technique have different pros and cons, and for me, the Vipassana, they call it insight meditation, is actually one that resonate with me more. So I don't really have an opinion on that. If it works for you, it works for you. But something is better than nothing, right? So if it works, really, if it works for you, it works. And maybe in the WhatsApp chat group, I will share my school of meditation. It's free, by the way. So I will send in the Mensa chat group for anyone who is. All right. So thanks for your question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ray, for the talk. I just wanted to ask, can you share some more sources for what we can use when we want to start doing meditation? I've tried it myself a couple of times, but couldn't really follow through. And maybe you can share a bit more of what your journey was. What did you do? You just talked about a certain a form of meditation. And maybe you can share some links to some media we can use.
Okay. So for me, I've been wanting to do meditation for a while. Okay, maybe let me talk about more about meditation and what it entails for me. When I was years ago, I already have insomnia. So it's not because of the accident I have insomnia. I always have insomnia up till now actually, because I keep thinking and keep thinking and keep thinking, and I slept maybe 6 hours, 5 hours at most, or maybe 5 hours at most, even if I'm very tired. Somehow I just wake up at 5 within 5 hours. So my first journey with meditation is through Headspace. I think that's a very good application you can use, Headspace. But what really changed me is because of the accident, in the sense that I was so lost. And my friend told me about Vipassana, which is why I will share in the WhatsApp group. It's basically 10 days of silence meditation. So before you go into the course, they make you sign an agreement. I will not run away. I will not quit halfway, because it will be very destructive to the rest. And that's it's very contagious. Mental state is very contagious. When you have 10 people, 20 people, 100 people meditating together, you feel very compelled in a way, or very safe to do it together. But if you do it by yourself, I think you tend to give up more. So the school that I went into, I mean the school of thoughts that I went to, these 10 days built a foundation for me to continue this meditation practice. So to answer your question, yes, I can share resources, but a lot of times is you need discipline. It's really like going to the gym, although you are not doing anything, but you are actually going to the gym for your mind. So that is you really have to set your time and head into it, to be honest. So once I encounter the benefit, it is easier for me to continue, to be frank, because if you do it 1 day, 2 day, you don't feel the benefit, it's hard for you to continue, you see. So for me, I had the benefit, so I went through all the way. Share some resources, especially the school I go to. It's actually around the world. I'm sure in the US, in Myanmar, in anywhere in the world, basically they have a place to go. So I will share in the group chat. All right.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe a little follow-up, because you're making that parallelism towards like doing strength training, for example. So when you train your body, I think you can say something like, if you keep doing it for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you're going to see first results.
Yeah.
What would you say in meditation? How long do you have to do it to see tangible results?
Okay, so I was reading up some papers, and it's actually in the chatbot also. I think scientifically speaking, they can feel the benefit they can see structural change in the brain in 8 weeks. And I remember the practice is not that long. It's like 30 minutes or 15 minutes per day, and that's it. In eight weeks, they found they can do an MRI scan, etc. They found that the brain structure changed a little bit. So honestly, it's not. You do for me. I do it every day. Sometimes, but not this time because we are enjoying the AMG, right? But I did it once, every day, 2 hours. But that is for me, for the level of commitment that I'm talking about. You do not need to do 2 hours, obviously. Headspace, 15 minutes a day, half an hour a day, depending on your needs. You can feel the benefit. And one thing about meditation is also, if you feel that you must have a benefit, you are actually going against the principles. One of the I think everyone heard of mindfulness, right? There are 7 principles. One of the principles is do not have the expectation. You expect something to happen. I expect I meditate, I become a superhuman. No, it doesn't work that way. I expect I meditate, I can find a solution to my problem. That's not how meditation works. Meditation works by calming your mind so that the solution is clear, is more clear. It doesn't mean you meditate, your trouble go away, unfortunately. But that's why once you have the wisdom to say, hey, I will not expect anything to happen, and that's where the magic actually comes. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I think your question is how long I practice, I get a result. That's not how meditation really works actually.
But I think
Yeah.
you answered it. Yeah, that helps. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so I hope my voice is so good. Go take photo of me. Thanks for coming to my talk. I want to show you my friend Steve. Steve is a porcupine fish from Koh Tao, Thailand. That is where I did my Divemaster course. And it teach me that fish are quite intelligent. It's like a little dog. It will follow you everywhere. And I'd really love to encourage everyone to go diving and meditation. So I'm going to show you a few short video of Steve, and we will end the talk, all right? I think okay. All right, so this is Steve and my diving buddies. Actually, we were down at the water at 90 minutes. Yeah, so this is just a very short version of, just look at the smile. So we spent 90 minutes just looking at the fish at the same location. It's a very famous porcupine fish in Thailand, Koh Tao. If you go, you will find him there. Yeah, it's about 7 years old already. And you can see, friends, we are actually not lying down on the seabed. This requires a lot of buoyancy control, and that is where the breathing actually come in. All right, you cannot breathe too fast, you cannot breathe too slow. You must be very careful about the amount of air you breathe. We are not on the seabed. Yeah. Okay, the guy is digging for some shellfish. That's me. Okay, I'll show you the next one. This is me. I'm not on the seabed also. Yeah. I just like the way the fish smile at me all the time. Okay, this is Steve's girlfriend. The QR code is for Steve's Instagram, by the way. Steve have an Instagram. No, I don't control the Instagram. But Steve has an Instagram. You can see all the nice photos about Steve. And I took this photo of Steve and just so like cute. Now the last video I'm going to show is the beauty about the sea. This is what happened during one of the dive, and this is the last video I have. I hope you all can make out what it is. So, scuba diving is very similar to meditation because if you scuba dive, you know that your breath actually affects your descent and ascent, all right? And I forgot to say this just now because in scuba diving, if you ascend too fast and you hold your breath, you can actually suffer from injuries because as you go up, the air in your lungs expand. So if you don't breathe, you forget to breathe and you're not mindful of the breathing, you actually hurt yourself. Now my friend is the one that lost the gear after this dive. Yeah. So she's the one, she was so excited because she forgot we are diving, you know. She was so excited about the whale shark. Then she lost her equipment and she actually ran down to find. And after this, I had to pull her up, right? Okay, so I hope you all enjoy my talk. Please ask me any question or ask the AI any question. I hope you all explore, consider scuba diving or a meditation. This is Steve's Instagram, and this is mine, LinkedIn. So if you want to stay connected, please add me. All right. Now, thank you very much for the talk. Thank you. Thank you for coming.